How can we forget? How can we forget the delicate intricacies of a bunch of sportsmen unlike any other? How can we forget the vertigo-inducing highs and the damning lows? There's just something about the Pakistan hockey team. The 1948 Gladiators who upstaged Belgium to put Pakistan on the world hockey map. A wondrous romance began. This was the time of the suave, the silky blazers and slick hair. Led by Ali Dara, the skipper, the father of Pakistan hockey. Over time there would be others who would take up the mantle. Ghulam Rasool who would lead his men into the city of gladiators. Backed into a corner they would pounce, and the streak was broken. There was the Rock of Gibraltar who would hold the chains together. Nasir Bunda would find the net to mark the beginning of the new age. There were the biggest of victories, and there were defeats. But as time went by, Pakistan would carve its own unique identity into the hockey fraternity. There was a new leader, a new land, a new challenge. And from the ashes they would rise and put fear into the hearts of the weak. There were mavericks. And there was a street fighter who showed that Pakistan was no longer afraid of being brave. There was sheer dominance, and the world would set their eyes on Pakistan. A new chapter was starting, and Pakistan would hold the reins. There was a setback, a jolt that broke things into two. But there was a leader, a mentor, an eagle who would teach his men to fly, and fly they did. And Pakistan would reach its crescendo in world hockey supremacy. There was one with the silkier wrists and a studious aim. And when he fell, a new star would shine bright and stun the world. Pakistan would be champions at Mexico, champions at Thailand, champions at Spain. And the show continued, leaving the world in awe of its magnanimity. There were magicians of a supposed dark art. Dark only because no one else knew how to conjure up such magic. And from there a new trio of speed came. Speed merchants like nothing the world had ever seen. And they brought with them an unprecedented glory, they would win it all. And there were Nawabs, who would inspire Bahawalpur to become the new home of hockey. And hockey would have its own Maradona, a lightning bolt. Who left the Aussies in the dust, a run that was etched into the nation's psyche forever. They were champions and they ruled the world. And as they reached the top there was a swift fall. Icarus had flown too close to the sun. A shadow had been cast on the Pakistan hockey team. There were dark, sad times and millions of eyes set on empty barren arenas. Pakistan would set a barren precedence. They lost their resolve and forgot their legacy, decades of shame and misfortune. And the world would move on without Pakistan. And yet there were those who found strength within. There was a new king, the king of drag flick, who stirred up a whirlwind. Madness would have a new max. And now all we have is belief, hope for redemption, and need to keep marching on. And we sit calm, waiting for the chosen one. To guide us to a new purpose, a new cause, a reason to believe. Longing for the empty seats to be filled again. Reminding ourselves of what Pakistan hockey was all about, what it is supposed to be. This is the Pakistan team of the enigmatic pedigree. One step maddening, one step conquering, in all their glory and all their frailty. And this beautiful theater of wonderment continues. Every bit is gripping, every bit is puzzling, every bit is vexing. There's just a certain kind of magic, a certain kind of maddening power. There's just something special about the Pakistan team. So how can we forget? How can we possibly forget?